Hello guys, LEGO Master Reviews here, and today we're doing a review on the LEGO Star Wars set 75354 Coruscant Guard Gunship. This set has 1,083 pieces and retails for $139.99 in the US. The 5 minifigures included are Chancellor Palpatine, Padme Amidal, Commander Fox, and 2 Coruscant Guards. The first minifigure we're going to take a look at here is Chancellor Palpatine, and he's easily the best minifigure of the set. I love the smiling face print as well as the second face print he has with the more sinister look. He also has some great torso printing with the red and the brown, just absolutely love it, and I love how it carries down to his legs. And on the back of the minifigure there's also some great printing that once again carries down to the back of his legs. Overall, this is a great minifigure. I really would have liked some cloth pieces to go around his torso, but still I absolutely love this figure. And here we have Padme Amidal, and this is the first time we're getting her in quite some time, so it's very cool to see her inclusion in this set. But I definitely will admit this is not the best Padme minifigure we've ever gotten. The face is just super inaccurate compared to the one we got way back when. But I do like the hair piece they used, which is the same one they used on the original. The torso printing is also very nice. She also has a second facial expression, but I will admit again, it's just definitely not as accurate as the original. There's also some printing on the back, and overall this is a pretty cool minifigure. And here we have Commander Fox, definitely the most controversial minifigure of the set. And that's mainly because of just the inaccurate prints and how badly they're printed on there, as well as the helmet holes and the lack of just cloth pieces. With the visor on the helmet though, they don't look as bad as the clones that don't use visors. And underneath the helmet, there's nothing unique like Captain Rex and Commander Cody's face print. The torso printing on this minifigure is also pretty inaccurate, with just a lot more white than it needs to have, and it's printed on a more vibrant torso, so the white just ends up looking a lot more pink than it should. The leg printing is pretty detailed, but I definitely would have preferred a fabric waist cape, and it just feels really cheap on LEGO's part for not including one. And if LEGO does plan to continue printing waist capes, I would like if they printed the rest of the waist cape on the side of the legs. The back printing definitely looks better than the front printing, and he includes 2 blasters as his accessories. Overall, definitely not the best looking minifigure. And here we have the Coruscant Guard clones, or the shock troopers as I like to call them. And the torso and leg printing looks great in my opinion, as well as the back prints. I think it actually looks really good. One thing that is very distracting though is the holes on the side of the helmets. When there's no accessory attached to them, it just looks very weird. And underneath the helmet, you get the standard clone head that you would expect. Overall, these are actually pretty great minifigures with all the printing. I just wish the helmet molds were a little bit better. Overall, as far as minifigure selections go, it's actually pretty good. It's just the execution of some of the minifigures that's the real problem. Now let's take a look at the gunship. On the gunship, there's some things that are really well executed and other things that are just really poorly done. On the side of the gunship, you get a really cool Republic sticker there, which is very awesome. I love the white stripes they put on the side of the gunship, using those triangle pieces as well as those really cool clear pieces they also use. As far as the other side of the gunship goes, it's pretty much identical. I also really like the texturing they did here underneath the windshield pieces, and I think it actually looks really good, as well as those brick pieces they use. And on the back of the gunship, you get a little tiny Republic sticker there, which is really cool and something you can hardly notice on the Coruscant Guard gunship. And pulling that down, you get access to the interior, which we'll take a look at in a moment. There's also this really cool turret on the back. And just above that, as you can see, there's some great black panel pieces there, which I really like, and I also really like the end of these long pieces on the top. There's also some small interior space on the back, if you can even call it that, just for blasters. I really like the look of the top of the ship with kind of the smooth design with a few studs that's exposed. There's also some really great detail in between that, as well as the handle right there. And that can be lifted up very easily, as you can see, and it's very sturdy as well, and it's really similar to the handle on the ATTE. The pieces on top of the gunship also are very sturdy, so no matter how hard you hit them, they're probably going to stay intact unless you drop it. The front of the gunship is also very well designed with some really cool swiveling turrets there, as well as just lots of great detailing on the front. I really like the Republic sticker there, as well as the one on the other side. As far as the wing itself goes, it's not very bad. I like the white and the red there, but there's no turret bubble, it's just stud shooters, and that's such a disgrace to LEGO gunships. It looks so ugly. I just really wish it was the turret bubbles that we normally get. Just hate that so much, and easily my least favorite part of the set. But the other wing is pretty much identical with the same ugly stud shooters. There is room to seat 2 minifigures by just lifting up those clear windshield pieces. And it is actually pretty detailed on the inside with studs to seat the minifigure, as well as a really cool printed panel there, and on the other seat it's pretty much identical. And you can either have your shock troopers piloting it or Commander Fox. I actually think the clones look pretty cool in there though, even though it is a bit cramped. I think it's actually a really cool look. And you can open up the side doors to the gunship by just pulling these levers back, and it's actually pretty satisfying. The only problem is the minifigures have to be 2 studs back, because if you put them on the front studs and close the door, it just knocks them right over, and it's really frustrating. I just wish they would have designed it better. But placing the minifigures far enough back, they do look pretty cool in there. And as you can see, you get this door in the front here, which lifts up very easily, and you also get down the other side. The only problem is that it's very hard to place a minifigure standing up in there, even though it is possible. If you have big hands, it's going to be very hard. So what I use it for is this storage for extra blasters. And with all the minifigures loaded up in the gunship, it actually looks very cool, and lifting up that handle, as you can see, it's very sturdy. I also really like how swooshable it is, and overall it's actually pretty fun to play around with. And as you can see, it stays in place very nicely. It's definitely not going to break off, but it is a bit distracting when the handle is completely pushed in. And with all the minifigures loaded up inside the gunship, I will admit it actually does look very cool. Overall, putting the controversies of this set behind, I actually think it's pretty cool. It's definitely not worth getting for $140 to get some inaccurate minifigures and some questionable build choices, but still, this one was definitely worth picking up on sale, especially if you're a Clone Wars fan, and overall, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. That being said, let me know what you think about this set in the comments down below, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.